Hey friends, hope you're having a great day. I am writing some code. So I am using AI to help me write code. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of it because this is crazy. Okay, I've been experimenting with this for a while. And I just wanted to kind of show it off to you. So I used to be a programmer, the old school kind. Like you had to go read a book and figure out how to write the code and, write it, and it would crash and you debug it and like all that stuff, right? And I got away from programming when I got into photography because I frankly wanted something a little simpler to do. And, I worked with AutoCAD and, I used to customize AutoCAD. I used to work in the engineering world, and we transitioned from pencil and paper to computer to do engineering drawings. And the company I worked for went from 30 traditional draftsmen using paper and pencil and ink and Mylar, traditional drafting stuff, like, old school stuff. And I was the first computer-aided draftsman to get a computer, a 286, and they said, "Here, Wayne, here's this new thing called CAD, AutoCAD. Check it out. See what you can do with it." So I learned AutoCAD, and people would bring me their drawings, these beautiful Mylar and ink drawings that these old guys did. And they were just artwork. It was masterpieces. And then they would have me copy them into the computer. It's basically like tracing, right? It was silly, really. But in the meantime, I also learned how to program with a language called AutoLisp. And then I learned C and C++, and eventually went to work for Autodesk, the company that makes AutoCAD, as a developer support person, helping developers customize AutoCAD. So I was hardcore. And now I'm kind of coming back to my programming days because of AI, right? AI can do amazing things, especially with code, right? Because code, it either works or it doesn't work. And there's many ways to do things in code. So AI is a perfect kind of companion. And AI was created by coders. So, they're going to make it do what they want to do really well. So let me show you this. So I want to develop my own CRM. Like there's all these CRMs out there. I've got a ton of them already. But I want my own CRM. I want to make my CRM so custom that it does everything that I want it to do. And it'll automate my life. And it'll make, following up with contacts and keeping track of contacts, like, so right for me, right? So I've toyed with this idea multiple times, but now I'm really doing it. So I just started this, I think it was this morning. It was this morning I started it. So let me show you what I've got so far. So I'm writing it in Ruby. It's a programming language. And it's just command line right now. But later on, it'll have a web interface and it'll run on the web. And I may even sell it. I don't know. But here it is so far. And like I said, this is just after really a couple minutes of work. Like I didn't work on this all morning. I just worked on it a minute here, a minute there, right? So I just ran the CRM, and it says, "Welcome to the Contact Manager. Here's your available list of commands." So I've got a command called sample, and it adds some sample data, okay? So it just added some sample data to the contacts, and then I can list the contacts. So here's a list of all the contacts. And then I've got a notes feature. What's it called? It's called Note. Okay. So if I want to add a note to a contact, let's say contact 2, I'm going to say this is a note talked on phone. Okay. And then I can say view, and I can view the contact number 2, and then it lists all the contact's information and all the notes. Okay. So it's pretty simple. Let's see, what else can I do? I can add a new contact. So let's say John Smith, and his email is john@abc.com, and his phone number is 888-888-8888. Okay. And now he's been added. I can say view, and I can view contact number 4. What was he? Yeah, he was contact number 4. So yeah, there he is right there. I can also add social medias. So I don't think I have an interface for that yet. I need to add an interface to add social media accounts. So yeah, I'm building this on the fly here. So actually, let's add that feature, right? So that feature doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to write a note here, and I'm going to write a note that says add a feature. Let me bring this over here so you can see it. Add a feature to the CRM that allows me to add additional information or update information for a contact, including information that has not been added yet, like social media or address. Okay, so that's basically the simple instruction that I'm going to give the AI. So the AI is right here, and I'm just going to paste. Let's see what's going on. Why isn't it active? Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to what's it going? Let's exit. No, I shouldn't need to exit. Maybe I didn't copy and paste it. Okay, let's copy it. Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm going to paste it into the AI here, and I'm going to tell it to add that feature. So now it's thinking, and it's going to add all the code necessary. So while it's thinking about that, let me show you the code. So let's see, let me open up. So this is my code right here. So this is all the code that the program has written so far. And you can see these blue dots over here. These are all the files that are being updated right now by the AI. So down here, you can see that AI is adding updates to the CLI. Well, that's the command line interface, right? So that's going to be in the crm.rb. Then it's actually creating test code to test the new code to make sure it doesn't break my system that was already running. Okay, so it just added all this new code right here, all this plus, all that's new code. Okay, there's some kind of error. Okay, it found some kind of error, so it's fixing that. Okay, and then it's going to create the new help functionality. And it's running the test to test the code. And it's working away. Like, this is crazy. You know how many hours it would take for me to do this? Because I don't know Ruby that well. You know, like I haven't been using it for months and months and months and years. Okay, so it's done already. So it says... new update features, updated any field, modify existing contact information, blah, 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 add missing information, field validation, interactive CLI, that's the command line interface, field reference, key capabilities, basic info, name, email, phone number, source, social media, company, blah, 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 personal, smart feedback, what is this? Different messages for adding new versus updating. Oh, okay. So it added smart feedback. You see, it does things that maybe you don't even think about doing. So comprehensive testing, command line interfaces added, 12 new test methods covering all updated scenarios, 36 total tests with 160 assertions, tests for field validation, blah, blah, blah. The CRM now supports full contact lifecycle management, create, view, update, add notes, and comprehensive data management. Okay. So now let's run it and see how it works. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to bring this window back and I'm going to cancel out of this version, and then I'm going to run the new version. Okay, so here's the new version. So let's list the contacts. There's no contacts in there yet. So I'm going to add some sample contacts. Okay, and now we'll list. So now we can see the sample contacts have been added. So now let's see, I want to update. So let's do an update, and I'm going to put contact number 2 and enter the field name to update. So let's say, or I type fields to see what's available. So I don't know what's available. So let's see what's available. Okay, so these are all the field names that are available. So let's update website. Okay, so the new value for the website is http:// let's say WayneWallace.com. Okay, and it added that to Jane Smith of ID number 2. So let's do a view on ID number 2. So let's see. Now we can see that the website for entry website on Jane Smith is WayneWallace.com. And let's say we want to add a Facebook because there's no Facebook, right? So let's go in here and say update again. And I want to update contact number 2. And let's just say Facebook and see if that's the right keyword. Yep, so there's the new value for Facebook. So I'm going to take my Facebook URL and I'm going to paste it in there. Okay. So now I've added that new contact. So let's do a view on contact number 2. So now I've added a social media Facebook link to that contact. Okay. So let's do a help. And now I can add notes if I want. Let's add a note. So let's say note and add a contact note. Added Facebook URL. Okay. And then I can look at the notes for contact number 2. Oh, okay. So I made a mistake. I didn't really want to do that. So let's just hit enter. It says note text cannot be empty. So I'm going to put mistake. Okay. Oh, it already exited out of that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to say, what else do I want to say here? Let's do a view, and we'll look at contact number 2. Okay, so there's the notes down the bottom. It says added Facebook URL. It doesn't have a 6 because you can't enter a blank note. Okay, so this is the start of an awesome CRM application. So if you would like any kind of code written, any little app for productivity, if you would like to automate your business in any way, I can help you with that. So I'm diving deep into this stuff because all the technology is here now. Like, I've been watching it for a while, and I've been just kind of poking my head in, seeing where things are at. And there's been a lot of hype around AI, and I watch it for the photo and video aspect. I've also been watching it from the coding aspect. So it's here. Like, you're going to start seeing what I'm talking about more and more and more. And if you're not using AI to automate your life and your business, then you're really going to miss out. I've already got an AI assistant. I just scratched the surface on that. I'm going to have more AI assistants doing different things. I'm going to have AI agents doing different things. I've got some big ideas. So I'm pretty excited, if you couldn't tell. And if you need help, then reach out to me. Send me a DM or a text comment on this post. Let's use the word help. Okay? Put the word help in comments or in a DM, and I will get in touch with you. Or you can just go to askwaynenow.com and schedule a time on my calendar. Okay? I will talk to you later.